My son can't figure out to put the square peg in the square hole. I'm gonna need the rat to teach him.
Combat disabled ass out of here.
Oh, man.
Bob was an old piece of shit that just bit toes.
I've
Possibly.
lived 8 lives. I've loved and lost and died.
And now I'm on Reddit. So welcome back.
Hey, buddy.
It is a couple of fellas. Nice to have you up north again.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, it was, it's been really fucking cold up north.
It's been feeling like the north. We've been getting snow, and I think that there's another winter storm warning for like 6 to 12 inches Monday into Tuesday.
Jesus, man.
That's a lot of inches.
And I'm so bad about pumping up my tires because I always leave last minute for things. And I just have to, like, get this, like, notification on my dashboard the whole way that, like, oh, you're at 27 PSI, buddy. You got to pump up those numbers.
It's cold outside. That air's condensed.
Yeah.
Come on, you know physics.
That's good. Oh, I know exactly why it happens. Once I get out of my car, the problem, like, expels itself from my mind.
All right, fair enough. Well, before we go on our 3-hour drive to a snow mountain tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll pump them up before.
Yeah, that might be
definitely.
a good time.
Yeah, I don't know if I could fudge that one.
Speaking of which, when was the last time you went skiing?
It was New Year's Eve, 2019.
Oh, wow. So a year and change then. I almost said more than 2 years. Oof.
Yeah, a little over a year. Yeah, because I usually go over New Year's Eve for my annual humbling of falling down mountains. But
you went once with the SIGAP group, right? Nope. Never.
No.
So have I been with you at all?
Definitely not.
Whoa. This is the first time? What's your usual comfort level? Blue squares? Yeah?
Yeah, whatever the lowest one is that isn't a bunny hill. Basically, no, I'll try the green things.
Greens are below blue.
Oh, I'll try blues. I'll usually stick mostly with greens, and I'll try a blue maybe once or twice, like towards the end when I think I'm getting the hang of it.
If we find a blue you like, maybe that'll be the move.
I hope it's good snow. I don't know if I've ever really skied on good snow.
I feel like between them making it, the storms we've recently had, and the cold temperatures, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Well, that's the thing is it's better when they don't make it. And I've been told that Okemo is one of the better mountains that like generally doesn't make their own snow. It's like natural, which is better.
The last couple of weeks have been good for that then.
Right.
Massive storm that swept through New England.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be very cool.
Oh,
because dude, I'm just not good at skiing. Like I don't practice very often, but so like I just can't slow down well. I'm bad at slowing down. Like I know that, and I'll try to explain this as best I can since we don't have video, but when you're kind of like you're slaloming, I'm not good at slaloming. I try to like go sideways, like, you know, towards the other side of whatever the trail is, and I end up just sliding down horizontal. I slide down sideways, and I'm trying to like
lean into that edge a little more.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm too like rigid in the middle.
Snowboarding turned a corner for me after however many days. As soon as I figured out how to actually carve, go back and forth, that changed everything. Because then it's like, okay, you can control your speed, fine. I can stop if I need to, but now I can go back and forth. So I'm not just bulleting down the mountain. As soon as you figure out how to like consistently turn and just go, the whole thing got incredibly more fun, like way better.
Now that I'm like imagining how I felt at the time, I think that that's exactly what it is. Is that like I'm
the boards
imitating what I
rather
see
than edged in.
Yeah, I'm imitating what I see other people do, which looks like they're just facing one way and then they jump and face the other way and like all that kind of stuff.
Leaning the edges.
But there's more
feet.
of a technique to it.
It's edges, like inside or outside edges of your feet with skiing, and then it's heels and toes with snowboarding because you're strapped.
Right.
One going perpendicular to your feet rather than two running parallel.
Snowboarding's pretty fucking rad.
There's definitely a learning curve.
Oh yeah, dude, I've seen that.
Lots of tumbling. Henry was a great example of that on the SIGAP trip. Absolutely perfect example. Lots of tumbling, lots of board flying.
Was he good at skiing already?
It was snowboarding, and I don't know if he'd ever skied.
That's what I was saying, because like a lot of people ski before they snowboard, because skiing is generally considered to be easier.
Yeah, I jumped right into snowboarding.
You would.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mostly. Let's see. It was Florida, California, and Virginia until high school. So the first time I got to go snowboarding, really, I was like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, all of my friends had either been skiing for years
Right.
or were picking up snowboarding.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to start one late and not be an expert at either, I might as well do the more fun-looking one.
Gotcha. Yeah, when I go skiing, every time I've been skiing for the most part has been with the skill level in the group was always varied. And sometimes I was the worst, but not always was I like the worst. And so like, and then there were some people who had been skiing since they could walk, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it really ranged throughout there. But yeah, a lot of times people would be trying snowboards, but yeah, I never felt pressured to snowboard, I guess.
For sure, when I got the most improvement in a session was when I was going with people who were significantly better than me.
Right.
Just trying to keep up with them, especially when I was going with gifted skiers and I'm on a snowboard. They're already so much faster and also so much more proficient at going down a mountain.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up with them so I could ride usually the same lift forced me to improve so much in a day.
So what's funny for me is my problem was not keeping up. Like oftentimes like there would be like a landing in the middle or something and all my friends would kind of collect there. And then all of a sudden I would see them and I would just fly down past them like unable.
Have you learned how to stop?
Yes, I've learned how to stop in the way that when I feel like I'm going too fast and I'm about to like run into a child and explode them. Yeah, I just take a fall.
Turn them into soup.
I end up just taking a lot of falls, which aren't bad. The falls are surprisingly never bad. And I would expect that they would at least rough me up, but they really don't.
I bet a portion of that comes from wrestling, just body awareness and knowing how to land.
I'm sure, actually, now that you say that, that makes a lot of sense.
You've hit the ground so many fucking times. You've
so
probably
much
just got an instinctive grasp of where you do and don't want your limbs to be when you come down.
Yeah, a large part of defense is how to fall.
Falling with style.
Yeah, exactly. Like Buzz Lightyear.
Finesse.
Call me Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, I can only talk from a theoretical perspective with skis, but I'm pretty certain that it's the same thing where you want your skis going perpendicular to downhill and then lean into the edge that's up mountain.
Right.
And that's brakes.
Okay.
So if you get doing that and then you're carving, instead of just lightly leaning into it and pointing somewhat down the mountain, which would be, how you go serpentine.
Yeah.
Point perpendicular and put weight into that edge. And I'm 99% certain that's how you stop with skis.
Okay. Yeah,
We'll
that makes sense. That's what it looks like when
Run
people
through
do
it
it.
in your head. Visualize.
I'm curious, where do you fall in your skill level of ice skating?
Definitely nothing with any degree of like tricks or leaving the ice. I'm competent. I can stay upright. I can go quick. I can stop without falling usually. I can steer around people and have fun. But the problem that I've had for the last couple of years is every time I've gone, I've had to get rentals. And for
Shoe size?
Well, they usually have a 14, one or two dusty pairs. For some reason, they hurt badly.
Yeah.
My ankles.
So true.
My ankles, like sharp bone pain after 10, 12 minutes tops.
Okay.
So I've gone a couple of times to the Yukon one, for example.
Yeah.
When you could do the open skate and it would be fun. Friends would stay out for 30, 40 minutes. I could do 8 minutes, sit for 10, 5 more minutes, sit for 10, 5, I'm done.
Yeah.
I enjoy it and I'm competent enough, but it hurts so much that I've definitely not invested a lot of time or practice in.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put the money in to buy a pair because I go so
absolutely
rarely.
not. Absolutely.
Even
Would
if that
I
would
ever
fix the
buy
problem?
a pair of ice skates? I can't imagine myself ever
Exactly.
doing that. But yeah, no, for me, I think it sounds like I'm much less competent than you on the ice, because that's another one where just like I can never seem to get my footing. I can never seem to like really be in control. Yeah, just it's never worked out for me. And I wonder what kind of things I could do outside of actually ice skating to work on that. Like, would yoga help with like balance and stuff?
My guess is probably.
Yeah.
I think that the years of just yoga and flexibility type training I've done help with, in general, different athletic pursuits, especially new ones. I'm sure that jiu-jitsu, obviously being bendier, has been a plus. I'm sure, just I hope I'm not up my own ass here, but I think
Hey, if you're decent in ice skating, you're decent in ice skating.
Because I'm not very good, but relative to the amount of time that I've spent on ice,
right.
I think that I'm
Competent,
fairly
proficient. Yeah.
I think that with that and snowboarding, and I guess skiing, although again, never done it actually.
Right.
I think that a portion of it comes from my, I don't know, friendliness with geometry. I'm comfortable with the whole 3D space thing and thinking about it in terms of angles and incident angles and force reaction force. I think I've had to do so many of those goddamn force diagrams through the graduate level biomechanics courses that I took.
Right.
Like all of the modeling and simulations of the human body. I think that there's at least some amount of that I can carry over into application, and that's why I was able to be at least competent with ice skates, because a lot of that is about angle, pressure. I know the concave shape of the bottom of the blade and the way that you're supposed to lean into it. I understand the physics forces behind why that moves the way it does.
Right.
I'm not good at it. I'm not practiced. I don't compare with most people who put any time in, and I'll be upfront about it. But I think it was a head start to some degree.
Okay. A natural inclination. And I'm thinking it's not just because you know geometry, but I think there is a certain level of ballsiness that, like, things like that where it's mostly about manipulating your body, like, it just takes, like, you can also do a backflip and you're way too big for it. And, like,
it usually confuses.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like something like that. Like that's just a ballsy thing to do. And I think that like flying down a mountain and like sliding around on metal blades, like that's way more badass than ice skating really is. But you see what I mean? Whereas like I don't know, like I just don't have that. Another thing that I think is in this similar vein is the fact that I feel like I didn't take my training wheels off my bike until later than most kids.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Callback.
Yeah.
Do you know what those ages were? I'll have to work to come up with mine.
Man, I might. The thing is, I didn't ride bikes too much when I was like really young, but so it might have been like 10 years old. No, that seems way too late. But maybe.
I definitely had my training wheels off by the time I was in California, so first or second grade.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I tried when I was like really young. I like failed. I got really scared of it. And then
I remember learning how, my dad pushing me and taking his hand off on the road in Florida, which would have been at latest. We moved away when I was in kindergarten. So I at least started training wheels free in kindergarten.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because I was probably in like first or second grade or something when I first took them off, and like my dad was doing that exactly that kind of stuff with both my parents were with me and my brother in the backyard, I remember, and like yeah, it was like so hard, and I got so frustrated that it was just like, nah, I give up. And I think part of it is that they were trying to be safe and they did it in a backyard. But dude, it's so much bumpier and grassier and uneven and like whatever.
Do it on the asphalt, take your scrapes.
That's what I'm saying. Like that probably would have been like much better. But yeah, and so like I just kind of gave it up and just didn't revisit it for like a long ass time. I might have cried, or it might be blocked out. I might have blocked out that I cried. I don't know. I remember like it was
just assume you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's just assume I did for the sake of the coming of age story that ensued when I learned eventually.
That was right after you started wrestling in high school?
Dude, this was during the quarantine. I figured I'd go through some self-improvement. I was like, you know what? I'm going to finally learn how to ride a bike.
I don't need 4 wheels.
Yeah, exactly. I was riding my tricycle around all through college.
I want to ride my tricycle. That
but,
explains why you walked everywhere when I was biking.
Yeah, exactly. Pure fear.
Phobia.
Yeah. Disgust,
Get
I would say.
Thing away from me.
Yeah. Get that devil tool. That devil mobile.
All right. So in terms of adrenaline junkiness, would you ever skydive?
Yeah, I think at this point I would. Yeah.
I definitely. That's on the list.
That's different though. Skydiving's different.
Okay.
Skydiving.
I've got a list.
But no. The reason why I don't think it's like this on the same exact kind of thing as like riding a bike is because it's like skydiving.
You don't have agency in it.
You build up your courage to like a point and then it's over.
You don't have to execute.
And exactly where
especially
it's like
in a tandem.
Yeah, riding your bike or ice skating or skiing is like very sustained things.
Oh, I've got more questions. I want to hash some of these out.
Hell yeah.
Because that one I definitely would do. Bungee jumping, then same thing.
Yeah, similar kind of thing.
All right, word.
I think
Fair.
I'd be more likely to skydive than bungee jump, just because it's more appealing to me and they're roughly the same thing.
Would you do paragliding, triangle hang glider? I'm pretty sure that starts as a tandem thing also, but there
As a
might
tandem
be more
thing,
element
sure.
of control in it, and
As
you
a
might be able to influence it.
As a tandem thing, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But like wingsuit, no, get the
Wingsuit
fuck
was
out
on
of
this
here.
list. I was going to build up to it.
Yeah.
If I had the time to get whatever the training course is up to it, I
Yeah.
think I do have the desire and like the ability to say I will try this.
It's one of the coolest things a human being can do, bar
I think I
none.
would be willing to wingsuit, yeah. Although I would probably start or prefer to start with the skydiving style than like down mountain or off cliff.
Like if someone told me that they were an astronaut and had been to space, I'd be like, and then someone, I think I would still be more impressed by someone who's done a wingsuit.
I have a friend from Yukon who does wingsuiting, but again, it's that like jump from a plane and then wingsuit for a while, end with a parachute.
Right.
Not like the cliff crazy GoPro videos. That stuff's nuts. I'm pretty certain that every major innovator from the history of wingsuiting is either still doing it or has died while wingsuiting.
Wow. Yeah.
Like
it's
I don't think
incredibly
any of them
dangerous.
have retired. There have been a lot of fatalities.
Right.
That's a bold pursuit. That's an unlikely one. I doubt I will have the time, money, and space in my life to do that. But I
Yeah.
think I would.
I don't know that I would ever skydive solo.
I would. Once I understood the equipment enough.
Yeah, well, right now, from my perspective, I don't think so, but who knows? Because I would do it tandem, and then maybe something in me would change. Maybe something in me would be like, that was cool, but it'd be cooler if I did it by myself, and I feel comfortable with the falling now. Maybe that would be the case.
Fair enough.
Dude, I remember freshman year of college, like, when I was still, like, I didn't know what, like, the club scene was and everything, so I was just going to a bunch of, like, first meetings and, like, intro sessions and stuff. And I went to a skydiving club meeting. And, dude, I remember one of the girls on the team saying that the first time she ever, like, jumped from a plane, she did it solo. Like, she did the necessary training and everything for long enough.
That's nuts.
To the point where they let her jump out of a plane for the first time solo.
I think I would rather do that.
Really?
Than jump first tandem. If I had the option to do that with a reasonable amount, like a driver's ed level of a couple of weeks of classes.
This chick did it in college. Like,
yeah. If it was like,
although that was probably a lot of it was
EMT
paid
school
for.
was 2 nights a week for 4 or 5 hours a night. That was for 8 weeks. I can't imagine this would be more than 2 4-hour classes.
Right.
For like 2 to 4 weeks. If it was something like that, I would rather do that and have my first and probably only, unless it becomes a passion of mine, skydive, be a solo jump.
I feel like you would do it again with like your son when he turns 18 or something.
Like that.
Yeah.
My dad made that deal to me. He said he would go skydiving at 18, and then he pulled the war veteran PTSD. I don't want to jump out
he
of a
backed
plane.
out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you never intended to. You combat disabled ass out of here.
Oh man. Dude, that's so funny. I remember my parents went this is like kind of like a big tangent, but a similar kind of situation was I remember like me and my brother really wanted a dog when we were little because every cool kid on TV has a dog. And my parents were like, oh, you're not old enough, like when you're 8. And they probably said this when we were like 5 or 6. And we remembered when we were 8. We're like, you promised. Like, and so then, yeah, we like that year we like got a dog.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we actually pulled it off. Terrible idea though. We were not a good family to have a dog. Both my parents worked. Me and my brother played sports every season of the year. Like,
okay. Tricky.
Yeah, not the best for a dog, but
literally since I have any memories at all, we've had at least 2. That has definitely been a nice thing. Growing up with animals, hardcore. I think, let's see, we could do childhood stuff for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Great memories. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. When I was born, we had Jake, the German Shepherd,
yeah,
and Bob, the Border Collie mix rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Jake was an all-black German Shepherd that was trained in like search and rescue shit.
Wow.
Super cool dog. I remember my dad rocketing this Frisbee across the backyard. We're talking 100+ foot throws, full sprint, leap, catch, the impressive grade of German Shepherd.
Mm.
Bob was an old piece of shit that just bit toes. Apparently, he was like 13 when I started having memories of him at my age 2 or whatever, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he just sucked.
Right.
I didn't really get upset when we lost Bob, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Then we got...
He was a shitty roommate.
Yeah. Post Jake, we got Maggie, a German Shepherd. Then post Bob, we got Lucy, Chihuahua Terrier mix.
Wow,
we had them
quite
in
the
California.
spread, dude.
We had them in California. Still had the horse at that time and a barn cat.
Still had the horse? So you brought
Yes.
it to California?
From Florida, yeah.
Holy cow.
Oliver was that horse.
Did you ride it there?
No.
Ride a horse cross country?
That was Oliver. Actually, Oliver might have passed away in Florida, and we had Bo also, 2 horses. Bo came to California.
Damn.
Yeah, this is just a Snapchat. That
That's
was like
so wild.
2 years of life is like 4 dogs, 2 horses,
Yeah.
a cat.
Damn.
Yeah, there's also been birds, rats, hamsters, guinea pigs. Fish ponds don't count. More
Right.
cats, chickens in multiple states, other horses, miniature horse. Of course, a shitload of dogs. If you count the litters of puppies, literally, we're at like, we might be at triple digit
that's
dogs.
but that's different. Yeah.
On the technicality, that
Right.
might be triple digit dogs.
Just, in your vicinity, how many animals?
But yeah, there's been times where between my mom and dad's
Wait, triple
household-
digit? Oh, total,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
at once.
No. There have been times that
we had over
between my
100
mom,
dogs in our house.
between my mom and dad, we've had 5 dogs at once.
Wow.
I think between mom, dad, and me, 6.
What do you see yourself like? What's your pet
Maybe 7.
situation? What's your ideal pet situation as an adult?
No horses. I'm fine having a couple of minor pets that are low upkeep, low maintenance, low
Really?
interaction.
You talking rats and shit?
Yeah, I think rats are honestly really cool pets, especially with kids. I think that they can be super educational because they can eat everything and they're pretty fucking smart with problem solving stuff.
Wait, you think it's so smart with problem solving that it's going to teach your kids?
No, but I think that having that versus like a dumb animal that does nothing like a turtle, you can learn a little more.
My son can't figure out to put the square peg in the square hole. I'm going to need the rat to teach him.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm hoping would happen, yeah.
The big basketball game's coming up, and little Timmy Cook just doesn't got it in him. Good thing we can put this rat under his hat.
Is that a regulation rat hat?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind rats. I'm not going to maybe push for it, but if kids or spouse wants aquarium type pets, fine. Definitely dogs. I could pass on cats. I'm pretty
How many
against
dogs
horses.
we talking here?
I like 2. 3 is a good max. 1 is a minimum, but I'd rather have 2 because
2's cool.
I like being busy.
Right.
Even with Freya, it's a good thing that she gets to socialize as much as she does.
Right.
It's a good thing that there's a park I can play fetch with her a walking distance from my house.
Yeah.
But if I was doing anything more than I am right now, without living with another dog or person,
Mhm.
I would feel kind of bad.
Right.
So I think 2 dogs is good.
Okay.
But definitely going to be an animal household, probably indefinitely.
Wow.
Something weird I realized, I got Freya as a puppy my last semester of undergrad.
Right.
There's a very real chance that she not only is my dog through the end of college, all through grad school, through this stint of adulting, through medical school. There's a chance that like my first children will have memories of Freya as their first dog.
Oh, that's the
that
sweetest
not
thing I've ever
insane?
heard. Oh man.
This dog's companionship is stretching across so many critical moments of my life.
Eras.
You're the best, Freya.
Wow.
And she looks real funny in a diaper.
She does. Man. So is she gonna have babies? What's going on?
Well, we drove down a couple times to Connecticut. I have breeding rights.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see.
She's kind of a high-strung dog. I wonder if she's too stressed to get pregnant. honest worry of mine. She's getting a little bit gray around the whiskers, and she is 3 years old.
Right.
She's jumpy.
Yeah. Would you ever have reptiles? Like, would you have like a snake or like a lizard or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against them. I don't want to be a one bedroom single male with 6 terrariums of
Right,
reptiles.
right.
Not really the image
And
or
like a tarantula.
responsibilities I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But same thing. I have no problem with it. I don't mind having a household with a bunch of animals. I grew up with a shitload. Most of my friends had birds, aquariums, turtles, frogs, whatever else.
Right.
I dig it, especially if you're doing a good job taking care of them. I do think that it is like a healthy kind of teaching responsibility for kids. I think pets are enriching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, if you have rats and snakes, you're going to help eliminate some real silly phobias that could hinder you in the real world. That type of interaction with wildlife, I would say.
Okay.
If you're feeding them crickets and worms and I think that creepy crawlies aren't going to bother you as much if you grew up with that type of environment at home.
Yeah. If I was living a life in which, I don't know, I just had the time for a dog, like a brand new dog.
Shiny.
Yeah,
That new
exactly.
dog smell.
Because like I have friends at work who have adopted animals in this pandemic, and like it's a good thing that they can work from home.
Yeah.
Because like these things are like puppies, and like one of my friends actually, who you actually know, he listens to the podcast. What up, Jerry? He has a
What up,
dog.
Jerry?
Yeah, exactly. And he has a dog, and so like I mean, but he's very responsible because he still goes into the office. But he like takes his lunch breaks to go home and walk his dog, and I don't know if I could be that dedicated to a dog. But like, I mean, hey man, good for you.
In puppy age, you kind of have to be, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It worked out very fortunately that I lived in a house with 4 other trustworthy guys, so the few times where I really had to be gone for 10, 12 hours during that last semester of undergrad, I could text you or my brother or Jake or anyone who was there, hey, can you just walk Freya?
Yeah.
And with diligent crate training, she was able to go the night. She was able to go the day. She was able to be walked without a leash, Decent training made it easy enough for her to be a turnkey pup. But I got very fortunate that I had a schedule that worked around having a dog, that I lived close enough to campus where I could have the dog, that I could bring the dog onto campus a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fortunate timing. But when you're living alone, it is a little bit tricky. Especially with puppy.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
But yeah, so maybe one day if I like have all my ducks in a row or whatever, and like I can kind of like make a life for myself where I do have that kind of like free time.
Or if you have a duplex and a renter that you trust.
Yeah, exactly. There's another one. That's because that's the biggest, I feel like when you're talking about real estate and investing, one of the biggest costs is not just the property and like what you're paying to like, if you are going to like fix it up, how much that costs, but also just spending time not with it vacant. Like that can go for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like if you don't get anybody, and that depends on the area, how likely that is. And I guess you could maybe still Airbnb it, but even then, like,
needs to be an area in demand.
Yeah, like
I don't think our spare room just next to Stores, Connecticut was going to pick up Airbnbers.
Definitely. Although I heard about some kid in Hilltop Apartments who was Airbnb-ing his room.
Absolute savage.
Dude, on campus, Airbnb-ing your on-campus apartment.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably very against the rules, but yeah, if you can get away with it.
I'm certain it is. And if you heard about it, he probably didn't get away with it.
Yeah. But yeah, buying a duplex, man, it seems like the wisest investment you could ever make. If you're okay with just having other people around, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Would you say you have a good judge of character? Do you think as a landlord you would be able to pick and choose clients who aren't going to be a problem? Or do you think you're too trusting?
I mean, well, I think it depends. It depends on demand. Like if I know that there's like a bunch of people who want it, I think I'd be able to suss out who the best one is. But yeah, like what if my place isn't in demand and I need something and someone shows up and they're like kind of sketchy? It's like, yeah, but I also kind of need this room filled, so.
Not to get Dungeons and Dragons about it, but there is a roll of the dice element to being a landlord.
Right, yeah.
This could be great turnkey passive income.
You're
that
right,
works
you're
awesome.
right.
It could be a huge pain in the ass that takes 40% of your brain power to
Yeah, it could be a hole I sink into. And that's one thing, like, I really, am afraid of loans. Like, I'm very afraid of, like, that's like, if I could possibly do this without taking out too big of a loan, or even like, yeah, I don't know. I want to try to do as much in like cash as I can. That would be very much preferable.
Start saving.
Yeah.
You've got the VR headset. You don't need much else.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I've reflected on my recent past, and like, I have been a bit brazen with money, and I feel like that's how you kind of get trapped in whatever lifestyle you're in.
Yeah.
Is when you get brazen
fair.
with money.
I've had a bit of the same pattern lately, but I've been justifying it to myself, and you tell me if this is total horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
I've been justifying it to myself because let's see, it's about to be month 2. In 6 months, I'm going to be ideally starting medical school, at which point for the next 4 years, give or take, I'm going to have really no income.
Yeah.
So the things that I'm getting now, like the patching up of my vehicle or the getting ready of my desktop game system console, like, these are the things that are going to hopefully carry me for the next 5 years. This has been a year of relatively high spending compared to the frugality I usually comport myself with. But the plan is now, aside from food, lodging, and, things I have to pay, taxes and fees, I can basically coast until I have a paycheck again in 2026.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's an inherently bad idea. I feel like if it was really
all the furniture I bought, this new couch, my new bed, like,
yeah, I feel like if it was like really close, like, in that case, like, yeah, maybe forgo some of that stuff just because, and like, I'm not judging. I'm buying all the same shit and like, whatever. But like, it's just better to have that money in case something big that you didn't expect does come up. But yeah, if you're confident that you'll have like enough, then screw it. Live, like, have the stuff now, take good care of it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, aside from replacing underwear and
especially because
socks.
so much of it isn't frivolous. Like, you need a good mattress.
I like to think so.
You especially. I mean, the VR's frivolous, but hey, I bought that shit too. Can't judge.
Well, I bought a whole human body anatomy simulator, so I'm hoping that by the time I'm in my 2nd or 3rd year of med school, this will be as good as going to the VR dissection lab.
Right.
I'm hoping that I can actually use this as the educational tool that it could be.
That's okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so
imagine if the Da Vinci surgery robot releases like a VR training package or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe
rent that shit out to med students.
Well, maybe there needs to be somebody who bridges that gap and creates that app or service.
Right. Oh, man.
We'll see. Some of these medical schools have programs that teach you how to be an entrepreneur.
Oh,
and
wow.
they have seed programs that put you in contact with people at the undergrad university, the graduate programs, faculty, investors sometimes. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. The American medical college system is really impressive in some of the ways that they can enable you to really take an idea and run with it.
Damn.
Fingers crossed, man. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I want to bring some of these ideas to fruition. I want to make a difference.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I just want to live my own life, I guess.
In that case, don't go back to school.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. That was a conversation I was having last night.
With whom?
With Danny and Mark. And like, God bless Danny for rolling right into his master's program and just also taking a job and also starting a company at the same time. But
the kid's got an engine.
The fact that I have now tasted this freedom, I don't know if I could ever go back to willingly accepting homework again. Like, the fact that it's just in all hours of the day kind of thing, like an obligation like that you don't leave at like a set time. Oh my God, dude. It was the bane of my existence. It has been since high school, probably, maybe middle school. I don't know. And oh my God, just the thought of doing homework ever again is disgusting to me, honestly.
It might be demented, but I feel the opposite way about it.
No way.
Well, when I come home from work now, immediately I go to my whiteboard checklist of things, and it's Am I seeing Molly later tonight? Okay, I have 3.5 hours till I need to be driving if we're going to have a late dinner together. Now, while there's still daylight, fetch with Freya, give her exercise. Come back, got to go to the gym, get my workout in. Then I come back and I'm editing a podcast and starting to draft the outline of my next med school letters. Then it's over to Molly's, cook, have dinner, continue working. Like, there's still a checklist of things that I have to do. And for me, most of my stress does not come from always having something to do. It comes from organizing and prioritizing and finding the things. When I have enough downtime...
You want to hold that mic a little closer to your face?
Great point, great point. When I have enough downtime to feel like I don't know what I need to do next, that is when it starts to bother me and stress.
Right.
So as much as I love steering my ship myself, one of the things that I actually love about school is that 95% of my productivity is set out for me.
Yeah.
I get to build my own workout, I get to build my own meals, and I get to build my own free time in terms of like podcast hobby, maybe some video game time.
Right.
But otherwise, I know X, Y, and Z are due on days A, B, and C. I know that this is what I need to accomplish tonight.
Yeah.
Like there's a clear and defined checklist.
You don't have to plan it out.
Exactly.
The other things you get to plan out, but you also have to plan out.
Of course there's some flexibility to it, but I have a list of things that I know I need to do. I know I have a timeline I need to do them on.
Right,
and I know
right.
as long as I do those things, I get that dopamine rush of you're doing what you got to do, and I'm on track and feeling good.
So for me, just the task has to be inherently interesting. Otherwise, it's just homework. It's just like terrible ass homework. But like certain things, like, yeah, because there have been things like in my life where it's like, yeah, I did go kind of above and beyond and like put in the work and everything like that. Like wrestling was one of them, right?
I
like
would say.
wrestling, like, yeah, sometimes it's like kind of late and you're tired or whatever and you have practice, but like I never like really hated it. Whereas like, yeah, certain things. And so like, I understand like if there are things like, I don't know, maybe a career path where it's like you can kind of go in a very direction way, like, you know, a regular job and stuff, or the other side of what you were saying in terms of how you spend your time and like more there is no set path for you. And so, yeah, a lot of the times that's a downside of like, all right, I want to make something of myself or something for myself, just kind of do my own thing. And that lack of a path is like also terrifying.
A barrier in itself.
So one to me is disgusting and the other one is terrifying.
That's a good set of options.
Yeah.
Which card you going to play?
I hope the scary one.
That sounds like the better path.
Yeah, it really does.
Tackling scary is better than tackling gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more glory in it.
Yeah. I was watching this video of Elon Musk recently. It was like an Instagram reel, and this was like a bit much for me, but he's like, it's so easy to not starve to death. So why are you not taking more risks? Like, what's the worst case? Like, you're not going to starve to death. There's plenty of ways to not do that easily.
I guess I get what he's saying.
But like,
I think there's a bit of a human aspect missing, but I hear what he's saying.
He's like, if you are young, like, you have all your life to like get back up from there. So why are you not taking more risks?
And you felt like that was directed at you?
No, but like,
Do you felt like
it hit home.
Advice?
I guess it hit home like a little bit. I was like, okay, I guess that's true, because I think at times in some ways I live my life as if the highest possible risk is much closer than that, maybe. Or maybe I'm just lazy at times too. I don't know. That's very possible because I am often lazy. But
you think you might gravitate towards comfort and safety over risky paths?
Yeah, and that's why I'm terrible at skiing and ice skating.
Great tie back.
Yeah, and riding a bike without training wheels.
That's a good full circle. But it sounds like you're kind of starting to drift away from that, to take the training wheels off of your career/life plan. So
yeah,
speak.
I don't know. I've been kind of fired up lately, and like,
Love to see it.
Yeah,
It's the GameStonk action.
What's so funny, dude? Oh my god, topical shit, folks back home. Yeah, the GameStonk shit. I literally like I kind of got in this swing like, I don't know, not very long ago, maybe like a week ago. And so that's when I started putting in money into like the stock market. And so I used my whole like $1,000 instant deposit on Robinhood. And then 2 days later, all this GameStonk stuff happens, and I can't deposit any more money into Robinhood until like literally Friday morning. So I kind of just like watch from the sidelines.
Well, that
for
does
most
hurt,
of it.
but this has been so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
This episode will be airing, let's see,
On
in like
Monday.
8 days, 9 days after we record it.
Right.
So for everyone out there, we're recording it on the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
This upcoming week, from what I followed and gathered from Reddit, this upcoming week is going to be the big showdown where I guess it pops and explodes, and this is going to be the payoff.
Right.
Everyone's saying like Wednesday through Friday.
Yeah.
I don't understand enough of the technical economic jargon to understand why that's the case.
Right.
There's a lot of call puts and things like that, and I'm not sure if it was autocorrect typos in people's explanation or if it was the correct business major language. A lot of stuff like that I just didn't follow, but
Yeah.
I think the fireworks are coming. So, in retrospect, wow, that was crazy. I can't believe it ended the way it did. 69,420 per stock, and then the entire stock market went dark.
GameStop bought the world.
Speaking of massive market caps, and to follow up on an episode or two ago, remember we were talking about massive wealth? And I said that Mohammed bin Salmani is the Arab crown or Saudi crown prince.
Yes.
I think it's Mohammed bin Salman. I added an extra I, but otherwise I was right. MBS.
Yeah.
And apparently I found a number. He controls the majority of his family's wealth, which includes Saudi Aramco, the most valuable company in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's estimated between all that somewhere around 1.2 trillion. So while Musk has 200 billion, that dude's sitting right around a trilly.
Holy shit, dude.
Unconfirmed and diverse income, but when you take over the whole country and also all your family members, then you get a lot of money.
Is Saudi Arabia just owned by this company?
By this guy, the royal family.
Oh, the royal family.
The royal family owns that money,
right.
and he imprisoned, I think, most of his family members until they signed over control of most of their assets also. He owns most of the royal family's money.
Oh, man.
35 years old. He has a $500 million yacht. A $500 million yacht.
Insane, dude.
True crazy wealth.
Yeah, that's what happens when it's like, I don't know, capitalism but tied to like a monarchy.
Yeah. Natural resources, cross monarchy, cross industrial revolution.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm.
The scale is just nuts.
Right.
Anything that lets you visualize Bezos' wealth versus the average American.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. I don't need a whole corporate. That I feel like having that much money for me personally wouldn't be worth the stress of running Amazon. I really don't think so.
You think if you were to found a company like that, you think you'd ride it until there's a big bubble, sell off your shares once you had fuck you money and be like, I'm good? What would that be? If it was a company that's clearly growing to be a hundreds of millions or billion-dollar company, but obviously the work and the responsibility is scaling with that, at what point would you say, this is where I'm getting off the elevator, somebody else can run this ship?
Wow, yeah.
I don't know what a realistic comparison would be, but let's say you had 51%, or I don't know, you and I, a hypothetical company you and I started, we each have 50% of the
and we had like
control.
employees and stuff.
I guess so, but for simplification, and I'm sorry people who know business better than me, this will be a butchery of how it works. We each own 50% of this company. Yeah, there are employees under us. I don't know what we do, but
we're the majority stakeholders though. Yeah.
Yes, let's say we each own 50% of the share of this company. It's about to go public, or it just
or we like
did,
each
or
own
whatever.
26%. So together we own the whole thing.
Yeah. You own 26%, and let's say the company is on its way for its initial public whatever valuation of 500 million. Do you wait till the next venture round? 1 billion? Like what is your share? Once your shares are worth X millions, do you just cash out? I'm good.
How much straight up money
would it take you to buy out of what would definitely be a wealth for life cash cow that comes with the responsibility and tie down of being
running a big
CEO?
corporation?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ethical and moral quandaries.
Right. I don't think I would let it get that big. I just don't like. At some
you
point,
would kneecap your own company,
I
or
would-
you would back away early.
I would try to just keep it running like light and fast. I don't know.
I'm
But yeah,
in this type of hypothetical, it's something with a growth model of Facebook or
Okay,
TikTok or
okay.
whatever. Like it's getting big, it's exploding. Whatever the Bitmoji 3D genie things,
Yeah.
those are going to be a huge deal.
Hmm.
You created the Square payment software that every app is now using, and it's blowing up in value. When do you step out because responsibility is not worth the wealth? I know this is not a direct correlation.
Right.
But
Yeah. Now I'm trying to quantify. I understand what you're saying now. Like
if you jump out at 3 million,
I have
you
a
could
concept
be set for 10 years and
like-
do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, like imagine I made Instagram and then Facebook bought it for $1 billion. Yeah, I'd take that fucking deal in a heartbeat.
Even
I'd
at
sell
26%, you get 260 million.
Yeah.
That's when you would tap out.
$260 million.
Not before. For example, if I didn't want to run a company that you and I had created that was blowing up massively,
Mm-hmm.
I think that right around the time, I think that I would probably personally ride it until there was starting to be a plateau in the sigmoidal curve of crazy growth company.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not going to up curve like GameStonk forever.
Yeah.
Once it starts to plateau, that's when I would feel like my contributions are not
Once it stagnates.
or starting to.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, whatever I was bringing to the table as one of the people who founded this or was running it
Yeah.
is not having the same magic. I think that in the graph is where I would step out rather than at a dollar value.
Oh yeah. At a dollar value, no. Yeah, no. Once I have like employees who I don't know and don't give a shit about, like I might.
That's
like,
another good metric.
Step out, like or not. Don't give a shit about. Like I would hope that I would always care about whoever's working for me if I had people.
But
working
at the
for
point
me.
where you don't personally know all of your employees.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's 8 other people in the office, we know them all.
Yeah.
If there's 200 people, you're past
Right.
whatever.
Or even if it was like a YouTube thing and like I had like editors and things like just like, oh yeah, I hire this guy to edit my videos. Like, yeah, that could that price could just keep going up and up and up and up. Like there's not a dollar value where it's too much and then someone wants to buy me out.
But YouTube, that's different because that's you following a passion project. For this example, remember, this is the responsibility of a big company.
Right,
Big
right,
tech
right.
fits the bill for this enough. So let's say you invent the next TikTok.
Ah, okay.
When are you
If I
stepping out
invent the
because you
next
don't want to
TikTok-
run it? Like, what's fuck you money to you that will carry you through your next ventures or whatever? You'd be happy. I'm done. I'm stepping away. I'm sick of it.
One, it depends on how much money I've already made at this point. But right now, if I had a TikTok to sell, $200 million,
All right. Fair enough.
probably.
That would be a good enough time to step away. You're doing fine after that.
No, that's too much. I don't need that much.
If it was something I hated doing, like I didn't like this
$50 million
responsibility, it's
maybe?
business and I dislike it, 2 to 5 million. I know that
Hmm.
that would float me for at least 5 years, during which I could have something else pick up enough.
I'll be honest, I don't have a good concept of what I could reasonably do with like $1 million.
True. I don't know how much of that investment could turn around into positive growth while I live off a small amount. I don't know.
Yeah. Like $1 million I could live like if I'm living like I'm living now, I could do that for a very, very long time. You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
assuming that if this is cash out money, what it does is buy you a buffer time for anything you want to pour your life into.
Right.
To pick up enough steam to sustain you.
Rather than just run something that I've been running for a while. Like, yeah.
So I think, I mean, I can't imagine what I wouldn't be able to do with 5 million. Like even if I wanted,
yeah, that's so
if you wanted to
true,
be
dude.
what
$1 million.
a YouTube personality, you've got 5 million. You're living fine
Yeah.
for years. And with that much money, you can buy all the studio space you need. You can do stunts. You can produce videos. Like,
yeah. You could start simple businesses really like without risk of like the startup itself destroying you.
With 1 million, I could go to medical school and emerge debt free.
Yes.
Like if that was the transition I wanted to
Right,
make, you know?
right.
I don't think I would
Maybe
need,
$1 million then.
Yeah.
maybe it's just
I
a
feel like
million.
8 or 9 figures is more than I would need if it was something I didn't want to do.
Yeah. Right. $1 million. Such a nice round number too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Especially because like you know what? I think I might be kind of skewed because people talk about billionaires so often. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd be real happy.
I've been
with less.
desensitized to the number a billion.
Yeah. That's why those visualization videos are so helpful.
Yeah, really.
You see how many grains of rice are in a Bezos nest egg?
Yeah. I see the ones a lot where it's like if a million is 1 second, or no, if like I forget, it's like basically they'll compare like a billion seconds, how like long that is, to like
Oh,
a
yeah.
million,
A million
seconds.
seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 17 years.
Yeah,
or something like that,
Yeah, exactly.
to help you get a scale, or vice versa. But I think those numbers might be close.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Well, speaking about time and preferential decisions, how about some would you rathers?
Ooh.
I have a spicy one for you,
Okay.
pulling from some top weekly Reddit stuff.
Sure.
But it won't be this week by the time people hear it.
Oh
They'll
boy.
never know.
It'll be old news.
Old fake news. Would you rather, I liked this one, would you rather have one life that lasts 1,000 years or 10 lives that last 100 years?
One life that lasts 1,000 years or 10 lives that last 100 years?
Correct.
So what does this mean to have these different lives? Am I remembering who I was in the previous life? Like, do I transition over, except I'm just starting as a baby with all my memories?
That seems to be the undecided point, at least if we're sourcing from Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, for the sake of balancing it, you do get to keep your memories.
You would have to, otherwise it would be nothing.
Yeah, it would just be
no different.
reincarnation.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you do get to keep it. With the 1,000 year, you age 10 times slower. You got a 100-year lifespan, but that means that you're a
Right.
10-year-old by the time it's been 100 years.
Oh, I was figuring more just like adult for like pretty much the whole.
Well, this is the
middle.
trade-off.
Yeah.
You can't just stay in perfect form for 970 years, 15 years of puberty, 15 years of age.
I think I would get so bored after 1,000 years. I think I'd want to change it up with 100. Like 100 years is a long life, and if I remember everything, like.
That sounds sick.
But that's
real cool.
also that. How many lives would it take to get used to abandoning everything you know and all of the family that you've made and friends that you've made and just starting from scratch? Like
that is
that
another
first
loss.
time, especially, like
Oh.
that's gotta hurt, dude.
You're gonna miss the people that you grew old with.
Yeah.
Oof.
But also at that point in your life, I would hope that you've kind of come to terms with it. And then you get to like start over. But how frustrating would it be to be a baby again? Let's say you get
I've
your
played through
memories.
Fallout 3's starting mission a lot of times.
Yeah.
So like I think I could handle
It's
being a
much
baby.
longer than that, but but what I'm imagining is when you're reincarnated as a baby,
You have the equivalent knowledge of what you had as a baby then, or something like
you
that.
start out as like a blank slate baby, and then like kind of as you grow up in some, like you get like kind of psychic
You
visions
have like
of your past.
familiarity, precision with it, or
Yeah,
I'm blanking
and-
on the word.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you get like some sort of like blurry images of the past, and then by the time you're like, I don't know, 16 or something, you've kind of put it all together and like remember.
That sounds better. I think that you should have a coming of wisdom as you have your coming of age each life.
Right. That's really cool.
That sounds amazing.
That also sounds like an existential nightmare for a 16-year-old to have. I've lived
Possibly.
8 lives. I've loved and lost and died.
And now I'm on Reddit. This is a green text if I've ever read one.
And now I'm going through puberty again. It would give you some good perspective though at that point of like,
And it's going to be back to back to back.
yeah.
So one of them you get to see through whatever, 1995 through 2995.
Yeah.
The other you live 1995 to 2095, 2095 to 21. So you still see the same time period. You get to go through 1,000 years.
Oh, I was thinking
You're not restarting at the same time point.
Oh, I didn't think that. I was
They're
thinking
end to end.
I wasn't thinking they were end to end though. I thought they were like kind of like split up, like maybe with some more time in between.
End to end. You're getting the same 1,000 years. One is in the slow maturing 1,000-year arc. One is in the 10 looping. arcs.
That makes it a lot deeper, I think. I think
I'm
that
gonna
makes it a much more complex system.
I'm going to go with the 10 by 100.
Cuz like you imagine like running into someone you knew in a past life.
That would be nuts.
And imagine, because like at this point in your life, you're old as hell. You definitely have people around you who hopefully believe you. Maybe not though, but like
Prove it.
You
can prove it.
You could prove it.
Oh, that would be sick.
That would freak them the fuck out though.
Yeah, it would.
Oh man.
You could start a cult like that.
Yeah.
And it would be truthful?
Yeah.
I don't know what you would be praying towards or believing in, but it wouldn't be a lie at least.
Dude, what if you were like, to bring it back to what we were talking about before, you were the CEO of this large company and you basically worked until you died, and then oh wait, no, because at this point, like we said, you're going to be like 16 or whatever. You can't just come in as like immediately the next day as like a person and be like, I am the rightful owner of this company. As like a child.
That's basically Iron Fist.
Like a King Joffrey type.
Boss Baby, I think, is
the plot. Boss Baby. You become reincarnated as Boss Baby. I changed my mind. I want all my memories from the time I exit the womb. Immediately flooded in.
You guys got any vape sticks?
Yeah.
Give me a jewel.
Fuck, I need a rip. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Man, that's so fucking funny.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That was a solid one.
Yeah, but I think, so like the 1,000 years then, at that point, if they are end to end, is it better than the 1,000 years? I don't think so. I think
you got to think about it in the context of the world. If you are aging that slowly, by the time you're 5 years old, you will be an international story.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be a 5-year-old at age 50.
Yeah, I guess that kind of puts a kibosh on it. Because like,
you're aging at Baby Yoda timeline.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be like elderly and like breaking down for 30 years like that.
Try 300.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's 1,000 years. Yeah, no, that seems like hell. And yeah, everyone aging past you. Yeah, no. End to end, 10 lifetimes better.
Word. I'll lock that in.
Agreed. I'll lock that in as well.
Fair enough. Okay, want to do one or two more?
Yeah, throw them at me.
There's a weird one that really caught my eye, and I want to know what you think about this.
Sure.
It's 3 special abilities, and it's a would you rather between the 3.
Okay.
You can hack into any computer system undetected.
Okay.
That's 1. Own a key that opens anything.
Okay.
Or have the Aquaman powers from the 2018 film.
I'm going to say right away, the key thing, don't give a shit.
Really?
I don't need to open physical doors.
I immediately thought Skyrim logic, like I'm getting into all of the loot. But I don't steal things, and that wouldn't really benefit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Except for when I lock myself out, unless I forget this key also on my keychain.
Yeah. The computer thing I could see being cool. But like, again, that it seems like that's more if I were to have criminal intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would be kind of neat though.
Yeah, it would be. But Aquaman powers, that's not
undetected. Honestly, I feel like that would give you I don't know what kind of actual competency comes with this, or if it's just a superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would I still have to study to learn systems architecture? Or could I break into hedge fund things and just Robin Hood for real? Like,
go
could
vigilante.
Could I get myself guilt-free money by siphoning it from black market stuff or stolen goods? Like, could I do that? Because that would be awesome.
Dude, you should if you've ever seen Mr. Robot, like that's kind of like what that show is. And like early on, especially in the show, he like one of the things he does is like he busts this like coffee shop owner because the guy was a pedophile.
Oh, right. I remember.
You know what I mean? Like that had nothing to do with money, but like
ethics.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could
use those powers for good.
You could do good with it. And then, I mean, the show goes off the fucking rails with some of the crazy stuff that happens. Highly recommend. But
I'll have to check that out again.
Hacking does give you, if you were like actually like just a perfect like hacker or something like that in real life, it gives you a lot of power.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Imagine you just had the ability to disarm all the nukes.
All of them. Yeah, wow.
All of them all. Who is this techno angel?
Right. Or like literally like any corruption going on in DC, you could just
expose it. You could find all the emails.
Right, exactly.
All the tax reports, all the birth certificates, all of the stupid conspiracies you could debunk instantly.
You could just put an end to things.
And undetected too, so you don't even have to go Assange it in another country.
Yeah, at some point. The thing is, though, would the fake news media like still have like a hold on people's like? Because you are putting out facts.
You'd have to work real hard to do it the right way.
You'd
Like,
have
you
to
can't just
establish
dump it.
yourself.
You can't just dump stuff.
It's similar like in the leaking community. A lot of it's on like 4chan and stuff where people like leak video game things. Like, yeah, there's just some people who just have a great reputation with leaks because you never know whether or not you can believe these things. Like, they're not official. And it would be similar with this like hacking stuff. Like, you'd have to get a few major things right, and then I think people would like
Assuming
catch on.
this hack into any system undetected basically means that we're getting a magical proficiency with remote system access. Like, we just can do hacking,
right?
The way that Hollywood portrays it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
How quickly really do you think it would take somebody with those abilities being active for it to be clear that there is like a direction to these events? Like, I imagine it would not take long for, be it 4chan and Reddit or major news media outlets or government spokes organizations, to say that there have been a string of what they believe to be related to, like, if you're suddenly leaking all of the classified shit that every government has done,
like anonymous shit.
Yeah. If all of this stuff starts happening and nobody can detect it and it's happening all over the place, like, somebody is going to realize that something's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know how you establish this is me if you are typing it in a forum, but I feel like pretty quickly people would be aware that there is another actor at play here.
Right.
The rules have changed, so to speak.
Hey, man, NordVPN, sponsor of the podcast. If you're trying to take down the United States government from your very own bedroom using just your laptop, you're going to need some friggin' privacy.
NordVPN. Or if you want to hide from the omnipresent techno-wizard skills of a couple of fellas.
Yeah, exactly.
We know what you've been searching for.
Yeah,
we know when you're asleep.
I can't quite crack NordVPN, and it makes the safest one on the market.
Even with magical powers, we haven't been able to break in. It's incredible.
Yeah. And so, but we haven't even discussed the third option, which is Aquaman powers. Also pretty fucking rad, dude.
Really fucking rad.
Yeah.
Totally unique.
Yeah.
The ocean would be way cooler.
Yeah.
I'd be surfing all the time.
Seriously.
It'd be impossible to drown while surfing.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a full set of his powers. So he can talk to fish. He swims really fast. Does he control water?
There's some durability.
Yeah, he's also super strong.
She does in the movie.
Okay.
Does he control? Maybe with the trident, he's doing some water control. I feel like there's some ultra instinct type power up where he does get to control some water.
Okay.
He at least can talk to that Leviathan Kraken thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that was a pretty sick underwater fight. DC doesn't land a lot of blows, but they crushed that part.
Yeah. I've heard that part's fun.
You have not seen this movie either?
Aquaman? No.
Yeah, it's worth a check out.
Is it?
For that scene alone, it's not their worst movie.
I've seen scenes.
And I like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a pretty sweet dude.
Yeah, but I chose Sandler. Throwback to our day ones.
So, what do you choose?
It's basically between hacking and Aquaman.
Yeah, I think so. Fuck that skeleton key.
I don't see Aquaman's powers coming in handy very often. I don't think.
It would just be for the sake of being Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't have a whole underwater fish city to rule, so I'm going to go hacking.
You might drag me along on this one.
Yeah.
But I bet if I pick Aquaman, I get to meet Jason Momoa.
That's true. You could totally
Aquaman, baby, send it. Give me some sparkly fish scale undies. I'm in.
And I'll just be hacking into his iTunes.
All right, we'll let you know how our big hack goes next time on
A Couple of Things.